Hey, this is Pete. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I was saying we have received a complaint about the matter, so we're going to be conducting an investigation. I wanted to ask if it would be possible to get a copy of the video you shot. And I also think you had a recording on your cell phone that was left on in the car.
Yeah, I had two separate recordings. One was a handheld video camera, and the second was an application that's on my cell phone that streamed live to the internet. So I have the raw video up for both of those is online right now.
Oh, is it? Because I got the video that's on YouTube, but it was very difficult to hear what was being said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you go to the description for that video, the raw videos are linked to. There's part 1 is the handheld video camera, and then part 2A and 2B are the live stream. I had to split them up due to the YouTube length max specs, but yeah, all that audio is there. So the video camera, I believe, was left on for about between 8 and 9 minutes, and the bamboozer was on for maybe 18 or so. So it captures more of the conversation.
Okay, I'll try getting those. I also wanted to ask whether you would be willing to give me an interview to tell me what happened.
Sure.
Okay. Could we do that now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let me hold on a minute. I just need to get set up on my computer. Okay, then I need to record this as well. I know you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
Today's date is October 17th, 2013. It is 4:28 p.m. This is OCC Investigator Wechter conducting a telephone interview in connection with OCC case number 589-13. And I'm speaking by telephone with Peter Eyre. And Mr. Eyre, are you aware this is being recorded?
Yes, I am, and I'm also recording.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
So, as I explained, I'm investigating a complaint about an incident that happened on Saturday, October 12th, 2013. You posted a video online about an interaction you had with some San Francisco police officers. So I'd just like to get as full an understanding from your perspective of what happened. So you can just start at the very beginning and tell me what took place.
Sure. Yeah, I direct everybody to the video. I put up both the raw video from a video camera and from my bamboozer that was live streaming to the internet. So I encourage you to watch that and decide for yourself. But essentially, what happened was I was walking on Mission Street in between, I believe it was 16th and 17th, and on the west side, and came across 3 police employees of San Francisco it looked like to me detaining another individual. So I stayed a safe distance back. I showed at one point with the video camera that I was probably a good 20 feet, maybe from 15 to 20 feet from the closest police employee. And it was clear from my videotape that the police employees were aware of my presence. Eventually, after I was on the scene, just recording, not interjecting, for a number of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, they let the individual that they had stopped. Again, I don't know why they had stopped that individual, but they had searched him and they had let him go, so he walked away. And then as the 3 San Francisco police employees were walking past me towards their vehicle, which was parked not in the parking lane, but in a driving lane on the street, on Mission Street, I asked them their name and badge numbers, and an individual later identified as Miss D as in David Khuu, Khuu, asked me what for, and I explained that I'd like to know who I documented. She told me her name and badge number. Her badge number is 358. I saw her colleague, Mr. J as in Jeremy, Woo, W-O-O. I was able to read his name as he walked past, and then their third colleague, another individual, as he walked towards the vehicle, towards the driver's side, I asked his name and badge number, and he continued on as if he didn't hear me, so I took a step off the curb in between some parked cars, and asked his name and badge number again. He immediately turned around and said something to the effect of, you're, committing an infraction or you're jaywalking or something like to that effect, and turned and approached me aggressively and demanded my ID. I asked if I was being detained. He said that I was. He said that I violated some California statutes, I believe, and I asked him where the victim was. I pointed out that I hadn't damaged any person or property. He stated that he needed my identification to prove who I was because he was going to write me a citation. I shared with them my name, as you can hear in the video, in the raw video. I shared my name and date of birth. They said they were unable to identify who I was, so they had a couple of their colleagues come and transport me down to the Mission Street facility, the SanFran police outfit, where I then shared more information, so they were able to ascertain my identity. But after I got out, after this process, when I later was given my property back, I discovered that though my video camera was shut off during the time that I was being detained, it had initially been taken from my person and set on a vehicle by Miss Khuu, and initially it was pointed in the direction so you could see myself and Mr. Wu, but soon after Mr. Wu turned it so it faced south, so it couldn't document the interaction. And so in addition to having that, that kind of shows a lack of transparency. The audio that was recorded on the Bamboozer stream, my phone had been recording the whole time when it was taken from me by Mr. Hamdy Habib, badge number 2329. He set it on the ground. It continued to record on the ground, so it captured audio, though there's really no video, which is seen by the raw video that's posted. And then that phone, at one point I asked where my property was. Miss D. Khuu, Khuu, picked up the phone to show me that it was still in the location, and as she did, she realized that the screen was still lit up, so she thought it might have been recording, I assume. She hit the top button to sort of power down the device. The screen went black, so she must have thought it shut off. She later put it in the bag with the rest of my property, and unbeknownst to her, the Bamboozer stream continued to record and record off site. So in looking at that, reviewing that video and the audio from the conversation, to me it just underscored one comment was made that, we jacked him as soon as he stepped off the curb. When I told a friend about the incident, how I just was requesting name and badge numbers, I wasn't aggressive, they said, oh, you walked right into their trap, that this sort of thing is common. So, I think it's pretty ridiculous. And then the behavior that they exhibited, laughing about jacking me, and then Miss Khuu repeatedly saying, fuck him, fuck him. The line of questioning of whether I'm a sovereign citizen, and without going into detail on what that means, I guess I take issue with. And also the fact that Miss Khuu suggested that she conspired and suggested to her colleagues that they alter their reports and say that I did not inform them of my name, and in fact told them it was John Doe, so that then they could process me downtown as if to get more retaliation. So to me, those are just some of the things that the video, I think, objectively documents, and reasons why I have issue with the way that Mr. Hamdy Habib, 2329, Ms. D. Khuu, 358, and Mr. J. Wu subjected me to. I feel like I know that they're the transgressors of rights, and that if the situation reversed, if they didn't have badges on, then it would be clear to everybody that they're in the wrong. Right now, their colleagues and their superior employers are their, I don't want to say superior, I don't like that lexicon, but their colleagues have yet to answer, and ideally they would be the ones that have to answer, and talk about what they did and own up to the fact that they were in the wrong, and that's kind of what I would like to seek. That would make me whole if we had a conversation about it. But I don't know if you have any specific questions for me. Otherwise,
yes. You say you stepped off the curb. How far off the curb did you step?
I don't know. Maybe to the middle of the next cars. It's in between the middle of the bumper, so up to like let's say a vehicle's 5 to 6 feet wide, or 6 feet wide, maybe half that distance, but.
Was that the bumper of the car that was parked there?
Yeah, there was parked vehicles. I was never in any moving traffic. It was pretty much, the second I took 1 or 2 steps off the curb, that's when Mr. Hamdy Habib finally acted as if he heard me, and then right away, he might say his actions were done the enforcement of jaywalking infractions, text on paper, might be said to be done out of safety. And if that's the case, why didn't he say, "Sir, you might want to step on the curb where it's safer"? Instead, he turned around and came at me aggressively and eventually put me in handcuffs. And so